Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Actors Area. I'm your host, Sean Robert Grant. So happy to have you here with me. As always, hope you guys are extraordinarily fantastic today. And you know what's great, what feels absolutely wonderful about this whole thing is that I finally feel like I'm getting back in the saddle. You know, I put podcasting on for a bit because I had some other stuff going on in life, but I'm really happy to be back and to be doing this. And you know, it's so important because it allows me to grow and to share with others as I grow, right? And that's something that's very important to me. That's why I wrote 2 books. That's why I continually do articles from time to time. And why I'm happy to be able to do this podcast. And so, you know, you guys have been fantastic. So thank you for listening in, because my thing is to continue to meditate on, one, not only how to be the best actor for myself, but also how to help others without telling you what to do, because all things aside, that's bullshit. We should never be in a space as teachers to try to tell other actors what to do. It's up to us to guide them to the perfect path for them and allow them to make that decision, okay? So with that being said, happy Friday to you. Let's get rocking today. Got a special episode. And, you know, if this is your first time listening in, my thing is I don't go traditional acting and stuff like that. I try to go to the underlying spiritual aspect of it. And when I say spiritual, I don't mean religious. I don't want you to get, you know, nervous if you're new listening to this. But what I mean by spiritual is the underlying cause of everything as it relates to success and fulfillment as an actor, okay? So with that being said, let's get into what we got happening today. And so I titled it A Career Defining Aspect for Every Actor and Actress, and that is unwavering clarity, okay? So if you listen to one of the episodes we had the other day, you'll remember I talked about how it's important to get out of our own way. Well, clarity is just as important, right? Clarity is just as important because clarity helps us to see and to observe the truth of what really resonates for us as an actor or actress, okay? Clarity comes down to basically knowing in mind, body, spirit, heart, and soul what it is that you choose to have for yourself, right? Because once we have that, then it's all peaches and cream, right? It's all peaches and cream from that point on. What I mean by that is a lot of times when I meet different performers, the only reason they hadn't succeeded yet is because they don't really know what they want, right? And it's until you know exactly what you want that you're able to set up your energy to go get it and to succeed in a way that just blows your mind, right? Because we're usually surprised by how powerful of an agent clarity can be when we have it guiding our careers at the forefront. And so, you know, when it comes down to it, I'll give you an example, but then I also want to give you an experience that I've had that's really helped me to sort of define what I've been doing and how I've been able to feel successful and fulfilled at the same time. So an example would be someone who has clarity. Let's say you go out to eat, you go to a restaurant, they get the menu. They might even have an idea of what they want even before they get the menu, but they get the menu, they scan it over, and immediately they know what they want, and they order it, and that's it. And they wait for the next steps to unfold, which in this case would just be eating, right? Or, you know, getting your drinks or whatever it may be. But once that decision is made with clarity. So that means that if you ordered steak, you're not expecting to get fish, when it comes out, right? If you ordered mashed potatoes, you're not expecting French fries, right? You ordered steak, so you're expecting steak. You ordered salmon, so you're expecting salmon. And so this may sound a bit, just, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even really figure it out. But it may sound a bit simple, but it's actually really important to see where I'm going with this, okay? Now, let's say you come into contact with an individual in that same space that gets the menu, and they look over the menu, the other person's ready to go, but this person doesn't understand. They don't have an idea of what it is that they want, right? They're trying to figure it out. The waiter or waitress comes, they're trying to figure it out. They still hadn't figured it out. They ask the waitress, well, what do you like, right? So initially what that does is that gives the power of that individual away to someone else. And this is more dangerous than we lead on, because it shows that this person is not attempting to take responsibility for a decision, for what it is that they want, right? Now, I've been in psychology, so I can kind of dissect how all this stuff works, but it's an important part for us, not just in acting, but in life, to really understand what the truth of the matter actually is when something like this unfolds, right? So this person asked the waitress or the manager, what would you prefer, right? And then they decide to settle on that. But then all of a sudden they send the order back, and then they change their mind and they want to order something else, and then they're just not sure. And so what do you have? You have zero clarity in that regard. Now, let's take that same scenario, right? Let's take that same scenario as a performer, as an actor, okay? So 2021 begins. What is your goal? What is your intention? What is your objective, right? Is it book a lead role in a feature film, book a lead role in a short film, book a lead role in a commercial, book a lead role in a television show, book a supporting role in a TV show, book a supporting role in a short film? So book 5 roles. What is the clarity, right? Sometimes, and I've done this, and the reason why I can sit here and talk to you about this is because I've done this countless times. I just go in to a year, and this happened years ago, but it was something I had to wake up when I realized I wasn't succeeding in the way that I wanted, because I just didn't know what I wanted, right? I just went in blind, like, okay, I'm going to audition, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but I'm not going to have any clear-cut idea as to what it is that I would like to manifest in my career this year. So it basically had me running in circles and not really doing anything. And even when I would get something, it wouldn't feel like a success because I didn't know if it was the thing that I wanted, right? So I said, okay, I got to fix this. I gotta really open up the idea of what's transpiring in my career right now. Okay. And so what I did is, if there was one thing I would want in my acting career, what would that be? Right? And I write that thing down. What would the next thing be? And I write that thing down. Right? And so when I write these down, then I have to go back and I've got to see, okay, why do I want this? Okay. What is the reasoning for me choosing to have this in my career this year? What is the reasoning for it? Because there always has to be an emotional reason behind it, or else it's not powerful enough. Right? So once I find the emotional reasoning for it, I look at the one that has the most powerful emotional reasoning, and then I know that that's the very first thing that I need to set forth as far as clarity goes. And to give you some insight, what usually happens is the one that is usually number one for me is the one that promotes the most growth, the most creativity, the most insight, the most opportunity to learn, but to also teach and inspire other actors as well. those are the ones that I'm usually choosing because those come from a soul level and those guarantee that no matter what, even if I don't accomplish this, the actual journey it takes to get to this goal or this intention can make me happy in the process, right? And so that is so very important to know because it's until we have that clarity, right? Until we have that clarity in that experience, we just don't know. We don't know what it is that we want, okay? So I read up a lot on the television shows that I watch, and I watch a lot of CW because for a long time there, I felt like those were a lot of the shows that, I was relating to for a while. And so, you hear different stories, and I think it's so important for actors and actresses, aspiring actors and actresses, to really read up on these stories and hear about what's being said behind the scenes, right? Because sometimes as a performer, we can just get caught up in the glitz and glamour and forget all about what is actually transpiring behind the scenes. So I was reading up on Riverdale yesterday, and it was talking about the lead actor KJ Apa, who plays Archie, how he felt like being on the set of Riverdale was like being in a prison, right? And then to connect it to that same article was his co-star, Lily Reinhart, who felt the exact same way, right? And then I thought back to last year when Ruby Rose wound up leaving Batgirl, or Batwoman, I think it's called, after one season, okay? And so, I really start to dive into this, and what I've known about the CW shows just from an inside track, right, is that they shoot very long hours. They are working pretty much around the clock throughout the entire year. I mean, a lot of times, you're looking at a 7 to 9 month work schedule with maybe a 2 to 3 month hiatus, and then you're back doing it again. So I say that because it's important now as an aspiring actor or actress, as an actor and actress that's in between jobs, to really understand and realize what it is that you want from your career, right? Because there was a time where I felt like that was what I wanted, but then I realized what it actually was, and I realized it would make me the most unhappy person ever to not be able to be creative in other things in addition to acting, right? Because I feel like naturally I'm a writer, naturally I'm a producer. I feel like I'm a phenomenal actor, but I love delving into different things, right? And I love going to speak to people and writing articles to help the people in the industry. So for me to have a lead role that would take me 9 months out of the year at I want to say 12 to 16 hours a day, it would likely be soul stealing. And so, but an individual who is a pure actor, right? And there's not very many people that are just pure actors, right? They just do acting. They love acting. Everything surrounds acting. Or maybe there is a lot out there. I'm not sure, Those people usually thrive in these type of situations, right? They thrive in it, right? I can remember the story of Smallville, and they used to talk about the schedule that Tom Welling had and how, I think Riverdale, Flash, all these shows sort of keep that same schedule, but it's even more intense for the lead actor. And it's just around the clock, right? And you think Tom Welling did this for 10 or 11 years straight. And the thing is, if this is what he loves doing, if this is his sole purpose, for being at that moment, it's going to be an enjoyable experience for him, right? But if it's not, let's say if he's 75% actor, 25% artist and painter and musician, then he's going to need an opportunity, right, to be able to have that time to focus on his music and his artistry in addition to acting. So what's a better situation for him? Well, a better situation for him would be co-starring, guest starring, maybe doing movies where you go for a few months at a time, make a whole bunch of money, and then you can take the rest of the year off or take a couple months off, right? That is what we're getting to when we talk about having clarity, right? Because it's with that clarity that we're able to align with the very thing that feeds our souls, right? And that's what we want. That's how we get happy and stay happy in this industry, by aligning with the very thing that we want, right? So if you like your time, don't go audition to be something that's going to take up all of it, and then you'll wind up getting pissed off, right? Because it's natural. It's human nature. You don't want to be there, so you'll get angry at the situation, right? Let's prevent that now by figuring out what is it that we truly want from this industry and in this industry, and we begin to write it down and then find the emotional reasoning as to why we want it, and then move forward from there. And I promise you, it becomes one of the most thought-provoking, eye-opening, emotional breakthrough, career breakthrough type experiences when you really get down to the nitty-gritty of what it is that you want. Because guess what? You're not guessing yourself. You're not second-guessing yourself. And you're not looking outside of yourself to try to decide if this is something that, that means something to me, right? It becomes something that aligns with who you truly are. And that, let me tell you, is the greatest experience, because you have the most joy when that happens, right? So before I go, I just want you to realize, don't go into it blind, right? We're still early in 2021. There's only been 2 months. We got 10 months left. Really sit down with a notebook or a journal and start thinking about, what is it I want? What is it I choose to have this year with clarity in my career? And, write down 3 to 5 to 10 things, and then begin to write down, ask yourself, what's my emotional reasoning for this? What drives me to want this? And find out which one is the most important and number them that way. And I promise you, this will manifest faster than you could have even imagined. And it's interesting what happens in the universe when we get clear and we make a decision on the very thing that we want. And with that being said, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful weekend. I'm sure we will talk soon. Thank you so much for downloading. Thank you so much for your support. Happy to help, happy to share all of the things that I have, all the wisdom that I have within, and I'm happy to see your success. So good luck on any auditions today or on anything you got going, and we will talk soon. Guys, thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.